Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another show of the Rangers Lens. My name is Diana Chivuka, and today we are with Afande Vanice. She's coming from a division of conservation, education, awareness. She'll give us the details. But whatever we do in Uganda Wildlife Authority is deeply rooted in the Uganda Wildlife Act, Cap 315. Afande Vanice, welcome to the Rangers show.
Thank you.
And nice to have you here.
Thank you.
Please introduce yourself in details.
Thank you, Diana. My name is Vanice Mirembe. I'm the Assistant Commissioner, Conservation Education and Awareness. Conservation education falls under community conservation and ex situ wildlife services. And if I can give a bit of a background, when Uganda National Parks merged with the Game Department, that time it was more into enforcement. Community conservation was born with Uganda Wildlife Authority in 1996. That's when it was very thoughtful to get into the communities and bring them on board and consult them and give them some bit of information and move with them into conservation. So it was no longer a carrot and rather a stick. It was more of carrot and stick. So conservation education has been at the forefront of as a tool for conservation, and we have, of course, it is deep rooted in the law. It is provided for in the Uganda Wildlife Act 315, and we have a conservation education strategy, a national strategy for conservation education. And this is aimed at changing the perspective, changing the attitude of the public, reaching out to give information to the general public, to the what we call roots and shoots, to the young ones, to generally to the entire public. So we have made an effort as Uganda Wildlife Authority to make outreach in the community, to go to the schools and give them information. You know, without information, you cannot change the world. But with knowledge, with giving people knowledge, and you can easily change the attitude towards conservation.
In fact, you've already gone into the audience, the target audience, because I was looking at, if we are doing this awareness, where is our target audience as Uganda Wildlife Authority? Are they schools? Are they people in communities? If we are to go out in the communities, what is our target? Leaving alone schools.
Yeah, our target audience are the communities, are the what we call frontline parishes, that neighbor protected areas. So we target communities that neighbor us, that neighbor our protected areas. We also target local leaders. We target institutions of learning. We target cultural institutions. We target political leaders. We target generally. We even target tourists.
Do they use?
So we target the general public.
Do you use the same
generally
strategy to the different communities, or there is one plan for all?
The national strategy identifies different tools and different approach depending on the community.
Right.
Depending on the audience that you have, we use different approach. If it is institutional, or rather cultural institutions, you use the cultural approach. In talking to them, we use totems. You know, there are some wildlife that are connected to these cultural institutions. We shall talk the language that they best understand. If it is schools, they enjoy audio, rather visual images. You bring it to their level of understanding. And if it's the general community, you try to simplify it, to use it in their local language, to hinge on the cultural platform for them to be able to understand your message, to identify with the message for them to consume it.
Yes, thank you very much. I find with your experience, are you seeing people finding it easy to understand the wildlife discussions?
Yes, generally, the public finds it very easy, especially if it's relatable and culturally acceptable or appropriate.
Right.
So we try to use the local language, visuals. We try to relate the message to their perspective. We try to translate the message into
Their
their local language. We try to use everyday examples for people to understand. But of course, on the other hand, sometimes you find those technical concepts may not easily be understood. So we try to break it down.
Because that's where I was going, that
Yes.
when you talk of wildlife conservation, there is this perspective that is a science world.
Yes.
To some extent, it's a science world. And then that's where I was drawing my question from, is that do people find it easy when we get into the technicalities of the sciences in wildlife? Or we try as much as possible to break down?
Yeah, of course, for better comprehension, the communities must understand what it is that you're talking about. You know, we conservationists or scientists, we tend to use terms that are a bit difficult. I remember one time when Mabira was being sold to, I think, to a sugar company. We were tasked to explain what is the importance of this forest. And of course, people are saying it gives us, it forms rainfall, it gives us oxygen, you know, it
and to an ordinary person, the
carbon dioxide in the. I mean, we needed to first explain without using so much terms, without supplying the concepts, to bring it to the level of this person who is looking for a living, of this person who is looking for a job in the sugarcane, of this person who just wants firewood from the forest, and bring the concepts to their level to understand the importance. Even when you're talking about the importance of Mount Renzori and you're talking about climate change, you should be able to relate it, to translate it for the member of the community to understand the importance of conservation.
So at least
the importance of the mountain, the importance of the protected areas. And generally, yes, we have endeavored to explain, to translate, to use visuals, to use the local language, to bring it to the level that even the lowest person in the rural area can comprehend it.
Understand.
Yes.
All right, then that's something very nice. It's better to send out messages that can relate to that specific community. Do you at times find that you've really spoken enough and you say, we are done with Ugandans?
Not really. Not really. Because conservation is continuous.
True.
Conservation is continuous. Communities evolve. New challenges emerge. So you can never say enough. True. You can never say enough. It is continuous. You have to keep talking because new challenges, new generations come up with new threats, new things, new approaches. So you have to keep changing also. You have to keep coming with messages that suit the changing environment. And so awareness is not a one-off exercise, but a continuous exercise, a continuous process, a continuous engagement for you to be able to, because human beings are very interesting. Even when you try to watch a human being, if they realize that you are watching them, they immediately change.
By the time you come back.
By the time you come back. No, as you're speaking to them, they try to put themselves in what you should expect. But as soon as they realize that you're watching them, they change immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So we need also to keep changing, to keep holding, to have ongoing dialogues for the changing environment.
All right, you're sending out quite a number of messages in conservation education, awareness messages in the communities. For the time you've spoken to the communities, what do they expect from us as UWA?
As Uganda Wildlife Authority, yes, we've been going out to the communities and preaching the gospel of conservation to them. But definitely, communities are very expectant. They are so expectant. They expect you to come and say we have increased revenue, revenue sharing to maybe 50%. They want you to come telling them, we have opened, there's free access
to the park.
They want to hear that there are no MOUs, you can enter the park anytime you want. So sometimes they have a lot of demands. But when you try to continue engaging and continue, educating them about the value of conservation, about the value of protecting the natural resources, then they seem to understand. But definitely, they are very expectant. They want you to, if they call you to come and handle human-wildlife conflict issues, they want you to come immediately. If they send in their claims for compensation, they expect them to be paid
immediately.
There and then. You, the person who has come to raise awareness, to talk about the importance of conservation, you have carried a bag somewhere and there is money in it.
There is no need of waiting.
And they don't want you to come and start,
and
conversing.
Giving them words.
No, just come, give them funds, give them money, let them share, and then you can go back. But not just coming to give them,
a lot of words.
A lot of words. they want to see that happen immediately.
So it demands a lot of patience.
So it demands a lot of patience. It needs you to design your message in a manner that will be acceptable, or a manner that is not going to raise their expectations too high. Because sometimes people go in there and give them lots of hopes. And these lots of hopes, if they are not met, then you create more issues.
What does it take to be that good speaker or that good communicator to these people? Because really, I'm seeing it takes someone who is patient and some other. What are those characteristics?
Yeah, definitely you have to be knowledgeable.
True.
You must know what you're talking about. You must give the right information. You must be approachable. You must be able to speak and somebody understands. But most importantly, knowledgeable. You must be knowing what you're talking about. Not going to the community and you start telling them things that you don't understand yourself. You don't know what is in the law. You should be able to translate what is in the law to the community members, to the general public, for them to know where their expectations stop. Because if you're going to lie to them that, we shall allow free
entry to the
parks anytime you want, then you're going to cause problems. Or you're going to tell them, part of the park, you can ask government to give it to you. I mean, you're going to cause
do
problems.
Some good cropping.
So you must be knowledgeable enough to give information.
Yeah, as we build this country into a country that accepts conservation and respects nature, how do you handle conservation in schools?
Like I told you, the young generation is what we are banking on, and it is very important. So we must target schools. We must get into schools and talk to the young people. This is the next generation. This is the future of conservation. So what we do, we go into these institutions through school programs, school outreach. We form clubs. We are partnering with the Wildlife Clubs of Uganda. So this institution goes and forms wildlife clubs in different schools. And it is through these clubs that we promote conservation. So we have talks, outreach talks. We have promotional materials, educational materials. that we take in these schools, like books, posters, you know, and other
Promotional materials.
educational
Education
materials. We allow in guided walks in protected areas. We have the education centers in different protected areas, including the Uganda Wildlife Education Center, where most schools come. We have exhibits where we take these young people, they see and learn most of the conservation programs that we have on site.
Okay.
But we also have a mobile van that goes around having visuals showing the public, and it also goes into these schools and we conduct storytelling programs and many other educational programs in different schools.
A head teacher out there may ask that, how do I get that van in my school?
You just reach out to us through your wildlife club and we come. If you don't have any, we form the clubs at those at various schools that are
nice.
there. Yeah.
Okay, we are in two schools, institutions from nursery to up to tertiary institutions and universities. Are we digitalizing our content we send out there? Because now we are in the digital era. Our young generation will really understand better when it comes to smartphones, tablets, computers. So they may not be in line with this so much of chalk and board.
Yeah.
Where are we as Uganda Wildlife Authority in digitalizing our education system?
Yes, Uganda Wildlife Authority is steadily advancing digitalization of conservation through development of multimedia content, such as videos that I already told you, through social media, through the mobile van that I talked about, and multiple languages. We go also on radio and talk about our social media handles. So we are going digital.
So with virtual realities, a school out there should not say that if I don't go to the zoo, I will not study.
I will not study.
So we can make an arrangement of the virtual reality.
The virtual reality.
They stay in class and then virtually we are connected on Zoom.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we have schools that come here and use our virtual reality infrastructure, and they are able to relate with what is in the field. They are able to have the experience as though they are in the parks.
All right.
So this part of digitalizing conservation education and awareness.
Okay. We're getting into our last question because everything that we do has got challenges. Afande Vanice, where are those challenges as we send out these messages of conservation?
Yeah, definitely we have some challenges that include limited public knowledge about the laws. People are very ignorant about the laws.
Or because they're in English?
Not necessarily, but sometimes somebody is doing something or committing an offense, and when you approach them, they say, we didn't know. We didn't know that it was illegal to kill a snake, for instance. It was illegal to kill, a bird. There are some of those things that you clearly see that there's limited knowledge. And there's also negative attitude towards wildlife because of human-wildlife conflict. Someone is going to say, how can you protect monkeys that are destroying at the expense of human beings? How can you protect baboons after they have destroyed all my crops?
Yeah.
How can you say I don't kill a snake if it's in my house? So human-wildlife conflict has also affected the attitude towards conservation. And as much as you want to preach the gospel, somebody is already off.
I don't want to listen.
Then there are some myths and misconceptions about surrounding conservation.
I know.
Someone doesn't really think that conserving a tree or protecting a given area is that important.
That's important.
They think this is not real.
There's some science out there.
There's a myth around it.
Myth around it. You're just telling us
How can you protect a hyena that kills my cows? You people are not serious. How can you protect a lion that kills a person?
We also have taboos. We also have some cultural
there are
taboos.
Some cultural taboos that come along with with community conservation and the like. Others, there's poaching. Poaching is such a big issue. Encroachment, environmental degradation, all these are affecting conservation education and outreach. Because people, even if you talk to them today, tomorrow they will be found in the parks destroying or poaching, because they must get a benefit that is out of selfish interests. So those are some of the challenges, and of course,
UWA
we have
is
to
managing.
continue. We have to continue talking. We have to continue preaching the gospel, and like I told you, it is continuous. We cannot say now we have talked and finished. People understand. No, but we also have to bear in mind that yes, sometimes they do understand, especially when we see poachers running away. We know that they know that what they are doing.
Some have even given up poaching, and they are freely telling us we are done.
Some have given up poaching. They say now I learned, now I'm converted, and that is the gospel. That's how you tell the gospel that somebody
the gospel is really being taken in. When you see converts.
Yes, when you see converts.
All right, dear viewers, thank you very much for tuning into the Ranger's Lens this edition. Thank you, Afande Vanice, for your time on this show. Conservation awareness is not a one-man's job for Uganda Wildlife Authority. Everyone should get involved. The environment we are living in does not need us. We need it more, because for it can exist minus us, but we cannot exist minus this environment. Thank you so much.